You know, the deep ocean, it's just full of secrets, right? But back in 1997, it kind of sent us a message, an impossibly loud, deep sound from the abyss that for years had everybody asking one pretty terrifying question. Yeah, I know, it totally sounds like the start of a horror movie, but for the scientists who first heard this sound, it felt all too real. And it all kicked off with one really unnerving event. So picture this. It's 1997. A network of underwater mics, which, by the way, were originally put there by NOAA to listen for Soviet submarines, they recorded a signal that just didn't fit any known pattern. It was something else entirely. And look, this wasn't just some random noise. It was this ultra-low frequency sound, a deep, powerful rumble, and it was way, way louder than a blue whale, which is the loudest animal on the entire planet. It was so strange and powerful, they gave it a simple, kind of spooky name, the Bloop. Okay, so the signal was absolutely real, but the source? A total mystery. And with science not having any quick answers, well, the hunt for a sea monster began. All right, so the first and most obvious suspect, right? The blue whale. It's the loudest living creature we know of, but the Bloop's signal was just on another level. It was so much louder, and it had a totally different acoustic signature, which meant they could rule out any known marine animal. And the power of this thing, it was just staggering. The signal was picked up by hydrophones, those are the underwater microphones, that were nearly 3,000 miles apart. Just imagine a single sound carrying across that huge a chunk of the Pacific Ocean. To put that in perspective for you, that's basically like someone in Los Angeles making a sound, and you can hear it clearly in New York City. A single acoustic event on a scale that is almost impossible to imagine. Scientists were completely baffled. So, with scientists kind of scratching their heads, you can guess what happened, right? People's imaginations just went wild. Whispers started about mythical sea monsters like the Kraken, or maybe even a prehistoric giant like the megalodon that had somehow survived in the deep. Could it be something we didn't even have a name for? And if that wasn't weird enough, you've got the location. When scientists finally triangulated the signal, it pointed to a spot near Point Nemo, which is literally the most remote place on Earth. It's the farthest you can possibly get from any land, the absolute middle of nowhere. And for any of you who are fans of cosmic horror, this spot is chillingly familiar. In H.P. Lovecraft's stories, this remote patch of ocean is precisely where the sunken city of R'lyeh is, where the monstrous Cthulhu is supposedly sleeping. So for a minute there, fiction and reality got seriously blurry. But after years of all this mystery, science finally found an answer. And it's maybe less monstrous, but honestly, no less powerful. The truth wasn't biological at all, it was geological. So the culprit turns out to be something called an ice quake, or a cryosystem. And this is a seismic event that's not caused by shifting tectonic plates like a normal earthquake, but by the cracking and breaking of just enormous masses of ice. Okay, so here's how it works. You've got this massive iceberg, sometimes miles wide, and it cracks and breaks off from a glacier down in Antarctica. The sheer scale of that event releases a tremendous amount of energy, and that energy generates the exact kind of ultra-low frequency sound wave that was recorded as the bloop. The source wasn't some monster, it was Antarctica itself making a noise. So, okay, the monster was just ice, but solving the mystery of the bloop actually revealed something bigger. The deep ocean is a surprisingly noisy place, filled with all kinds of other strange signals that have their own stories. Take the biodeck, for example. For decades, submarine crews were haunted by the sound. A lot of them thought it was some kind of secret Soviet weapon. The real source? Turned out to be the really complex song of the minke whale. Then there's another one called Slowdown, a sound that dropped in pitch over 7 minutes. That wasn't a creature either, but a massive iceberg scraping slowly along the seafloor. And really, all of these strange sounds point to one pretty profound reality. We know shockingly little about the biggest part of our own planet. I mean, it's a simple, kind of crazy truth. We know more about the surface of Mars than we do about our own planet's seafloor. By some estimates, over 95% of our ocean remains completely unexplored. It's a vast, hidden world right here at home. So yeah, the bloop might not be a monster anymore, But it's this incredible reminder that the deep sea is a world of immense power and just so many secrets. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In all that vast, unexplored darkness, what else is down there, just waiting to be heard?